right, gang, we're gonna start just standing up today at the top of your mat. And just stand, like, don't try and be all yogi about it. Right now, just stand. Just stand. Notice what your natural posture is. Notice if all your weight is in your heels. Notice if your knees are locked. Don't adjust anything right now. Notice if your hips feel equal or if one side feels a little higher. Notice if you feel like a dumping in that low back, how your belly feels. And just naturally not controlling the breath at all, just notice on this next cycle of breath how the ribs move. And maybe close your eyes to take that sense out of it. Do you feel the breath more through the front than the back or the sides? And then notice just how your shoulders hang. If one feels like it's hanging a little heavier than the other, if they feel like they're rolled forward or rolled back, and don't adjust anything. It's so important to see where we are now so we can get a clear track on where we want to go. And so right now we're just going to use the body, how it naturally hangs. And this is the product of how we sit, how we run, how we move, how we cook, how we sit at the computer. This is all those patterns right here, right now. Just feel your throat, your jaw. Feel your ears, like does one ear feel a little higher than the other? Your eyes. When's the last time you felt like how your eyes are situated on your face? And can you do that without the vision of sight and the reflection from a mirror? And notice the top of your head. Does it feel flat? Does it feel pointy? Does the base of your skull feel higher than your chin, or vice versa? So for 2 more breaths, we're just going to take in this natural posture. Notice if like one hand is touching a leg, but the other is not. And just know that our bodies they're imperfect, they're different. They're side to side, front to back, up to down, day to day, moment to moment. They're different. They're just the suit that we live in. All right, now let's travel back down to the toes again and lift all of your toes, spread them wide, and starting with the big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and fifth toe. And did you know that we should be able to move our toes individually, independently of one another, and see if you can pick up now the pinky toe, the fourth toe, the third toe, the second toe, and the big toe independently. And then starting with the pinky toe, drop it down, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, and big toe. And feel the space in between the toes. And now rock forward and back where the weight isn't too much on the heels, not too much on the toes, but right in the center, you can feel the balls of your feet and the lifting of your arch. Good. And then soften your ankles by softening your knees just a little bit. And imagine your tailbone not tucked, never tucked, but pointing down, straight down to the ground. And notice if that lifts the front of your hips a little bit. And then from the hips down, press into the ground and get more space between your hips and your ribs. Pull your low belly in and up like you're trying to swallow it underneath your ribs. And then pull your front ribs in a little bit more if they're kind of reaching out from the front of you. And then your shoulders, bring those up to your ears and back, and then down by bringing the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together and squeeze those. And then you might notice that the whole front of your arm will change, and now the palms are facing forward. Let's do that, and spread your fingers wide. And then bring your ears right over the center of your shoulders. Good. And now imagine that there's a ball about 6 inches above your head, and reach up to that ball through your breath. So take a deep breath in and take that breath all the way up to that ball about 6 inches above your head. And then as you exhale, imagine the breath going down the back of the spine, just like a waterfall without resistance, heavy. Okay, take that 3 more times, that nice up the spine and down the spine. And then just notice what this purposeful posture lends to. So especially with the fingers spread out wide in front of you, your feet really attached to the ground and standing tall. There's studies, you guys, around this, that it increases the release of serotonin. This is right here a confidence builder. All right, take another deep breath in. And let all that breath out. Let it go down the back of the spine like a waterfall. All right, now let's start to move. Sweep your arms up. Press your big toes down. And fold forward. Bend your knees. Lay your body over your legs. Come into a halfway lift. Fold forward. Sweep up. Feel the big toes and the pinky toes. Press them down. And fold again. Good. Halfway lift, this time with airplane arms. Squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together and stay here. Breathe out. Good. Now inhale yourself right into chair. Sit low. Good. Now just stay right here. So I'm just turning to the side, see if you need a reference. And I want you to feel your fingertips and your hips reaching further apart. Good. Take a deep breath in. And fold forward. Halfway lift, airplane arms. Bow down. Halfway lift again. This time, high to low push up. Long exhale here. Upward facing dog. Press the tops of your feet down. Downward facing dog. Good, let's stay here and just start to open it up. Wag your tail, maybe lift one of your arms and reach. Just play around with it. Notice all the different angles that you can begin to open up, and knowing that it doesn't have to look like downward facing dog. We've got about 3 more breaths doing this. Now go ahead and get all the air out of your body. And walk or hop to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Sweep up. Okay, here we go, you guys. One purposeful breath after the next. Fold forward. One breath, one motion. Halfway lift. High to low. Upward dog. Downward dog. Breathe out. One inhale. Empty. Top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Bow. So let's find the pauses. Chair. Bow. Chair. Now stay here and reach. Stand all the way up. Reach back. Fill your lungs. Fold. Halfway lift. High to low. Up dog. Down dog. This time, right foot forward. Warrior one. Yeah, let's just stay here. So a lot of times we get that cue of like, bring the left hip forward and the right hip back. That doesn't really work very well, at least in my body. So what I found is taking that left arm and reaching that forward, getting the twist from the ribs, and then sinking into the legs. Right, keep that low belly pulling in and up. Take one more deep breath in, reach up and back. And chaturanga. Now here's another option. You can come to tabletop. Drop your belly and look up. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. So that's an awesome option instead of chaturanga. You just come to tabletop. You drop the belly and you look up as opposed to up dog. And then you take downward facing dog. So same thing, like on this side, easy to square for me. So notice, and then if that right rib cage is pulling back, lead with your fingertips and just see how that feels. And then always sink into the legs. Trust your legs. You all have super strong legs. And relax your shoulders. At the same time, you're reaching up. Okay, let's take one more big breath in. And chaturanga or tabletop. Upward dog or cow pose. Downward facing dog, right foot forward, warrior one. Big breath up. Reach through those left fingertips, square the ribs. Warrior two. Reverse. Chaturanga, cartwheel that back arm over. This is one big exhale here, guys. Up dog. Down dog, left foot forward. Warrior one, step. Rise up. Warrior two. Reverse. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog, right foot again, warrior one. Warrior two. Find the silence at the end in every pause. Reverse. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Sweep up. Warrior two. Reverse. Chaturanga. Up dog, big breath here. Let's pause. Downward facing dog. And take a deep breath in. Get it all the way out. Walker hop forward. Halfway lift. Bow. Sweep up. And bring your hands to your heart. Thumbs to your heartbeat, close your eyes. Manage the breath. Don't let it, don't gulp it or dump it. Stay in control of it. We want to override the natural mechanisms that are built in there to keep us safe, right? This is not a dangerous place to override those mechanisms. You're never going to lose that part of you. But what we gain is this ability to get control or be in charge of kind of fear that's out of control. You know, that fear that just keeps us from living, the fear that keeps us from doing the most littlest thing that feels so big. And so we want to override that part that's gotten a little too big. And it's really just in and of itself, in the simplest form, it's just a product of our society, of our environment. This is a very fear-based environment. And that mechanism was built for, you know, when tigers would jump out of the jungle at us, or that we would have to fight for our survival. We don't need to fight so much. We fight everything. We fight when something's supposed to be delivered on Monday and it doesn't get delivered on Wednesday, you know, or it gets lost. There's so much fight there, right? So what we don't pay attention to is that we're using that mechanism of survival for the most mundane, simple things, and it's really making us sick. And as athletes, it's really hindering our performance. Just take a couple more breaths here in silence. All right, now drop your arms by your side and open your eyes. Good. Take your feet about hip width, okay? I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see this. This is one of my favorite, this is actually like a lot of crossover between PT and yoga. In PT, we would call this founder's pose. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna sit really low. That's how we're gonna start. And maybe just put your hands on your hips. I like to put my thumbs in those hip creases and push them back. So you want your knees right over your ankles here. Nice and wide. So that's gonna allow you to really dump that weight back here. And then you're gonna bring your arms by your ears. And this actually really helps sit back a little bit more. Good. Now the key is that the knees are gonna stay really bent. Good, now, we're gonna take that to a halfway lift back. Yeah, nice. Eyes straight down, unless you need to peek at me. Good, take a deep breath in, hips and fingertips reach way far apart. Now keep the legs exactly the same, drop your hands to the ground and drop your head. So nothing has really changed with the legs. Those hips are gonna wanna go up, keep pressing them back and down. Good, take a deep breath in. Empty it all the way out. Come back to that halfway lift back. If this is too much, go airplane arms. Good, now exhale and reach. Come back up to about 45 degrees with the upper body. Stay here, breathe out. Now stand all the way up and drop your arms by your side. Whew. That is awesome to do in the middle of a run. All right, we might do that one again. Sweep your arms up, but not right now. Fold forward, keep managing the breath. Halfway lift. High to low push-up. Upward dog. Downward dog, right foot forward. Warrior one again. Warrior two, now stay here. Okay, I don't think I've ever taught this transition here, but we're gonna do it today. Because BJ's not here and I got full reign. Love it. I love it when he's here too. So back hand, you guys, wiggle your fingers. You're gonna need that hand, okay? Now listen up. You're gonna reverse, inhale, front hand goes up, side plank, back arm comes around, land it, side plank. Yeah. Good, take a deep breath in, right arm's in the air. Breathe out. Maybe that top leg goes up for one more breath. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Sweep up. Looks like everybody got that. Warrior two. Good. Let's just stay here, take a breath in. Empty out. Okay, here we go. Reverse. Side plank. Top arms, bottom arm swings around. Right arm plants. Reach up. Breathe out. Good, one more breath. Chaturanga. Now we're gonna do that one breath, one motion, okay? Up dog, right? Repetition. Down dog, right foot forward, warrior one. So sweep up. Warrior two. Reverse. Side plank, back arm, swing it around. It's the left hand plants. Inhale, reach up. Chaturanga. Up dog, knowing you can always take that tabletop version. Down dog, left foot forward, warrior one. Warrior two. Reverse, get this breath in. Side plank, swing it around. Inhale, one breath. Chaturanga, exhale. Up dog. Down dog, we're doing it again, one more time. Right foot forward, reach up. Warrior two. Reverse. Side plank. Inhale. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog, one more time, left foot. Inhale up. Warrior two. Find the bottom. Reverse. Side plank. Inhale. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Stay here. Good. 3 more breaths. If you want child's pose, take it. All right, now take the right leg up. Bend your knee and stack your hips open. Go ahead, take a deep breath in, lift that top leg. And step it through. Runner's lunge, drop your back knee. Sweep up. And now cactus your arms and sink into the front of that left hip. And notice that that right hip's like all cranked up. Drop that right hip too. Now if your back toes aren't tucked, tuck your back toes. And really feel that back big toe on the mat. Okay, now lift up to Crescent Lunge. And sweep your arms up. Good, take a deep breath in. Drop your hands to the mat. Back knee high. Right arm high. We're going to take our twist here today. You can drop to that back knee if that feels better. Otherwise, go for a lot of length here. A nice supported twist. Good. Take another deep breath in. Empty it all the way out. Inhale. Now drop that right hand back mat. Crescent lunge, reach up. Warrior two, so drop the back heel. Yeah, reverse. And side angle pose. I love to take side angle with the fingertips reaching off that front knee. So just notice, in, closes the shoulder, out, opens the shoulder. So depending on how you felt in that first pose, maybe you need a little shoulder opening here. And then an option to take a bind if you want. I just put my hand on my sacrum. And then take that top arm high. Good. And now we're just going to straighten the front leg and come into triangle pose. And again, I like to put my fingertips right in that hip crease and press it back and get a lot more length on the bottom side of that right torso. If you want a little more, take your arms by your ears. And if your arms are by your ears, come back to those triangle arms. And get really focused on your breath. We're going to come into half moon from here. Sometimes I keep that bottom hand on that front thigh. So know that there's no real rules here. Not in the physical poses. Because the yoga is what's going on in the mind right now. The yoga is there's so much vying for your attention, and are you going to give it your attention? Okay, take another deep breath here. And step your feet together. Sweep up. Fold. Halfway lift. High to low push-up. I'm going to go tabletop version here. Up dog or cow face. Downward facing dog. This time left leg goes high. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Deep inhale. Step it all the way through. Drop your back knee. Reach up. Cactus your arms. So cactus your arms from the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, squeezing. And lean into the front of that right hip. So if you're finding instability, tuck the back toes now. That's going to give you more stability. And then we're going to lift off those toes and reach up, crescent lunge. Good, so don't be afraid to stay low here because we're not here that long. Take another breath in. Hands are going to go to the mat. Frame that front foot. Left arm goes high. Now I want you to notice the back leg. If everything starts to fall out towards the pinky toes, press through that back big toe. Straighten the leg. And make more room between your back heel and your front knee. Okay, together, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Hand to the mat. Crescent. Warrior two. Reverse. Side angle. Option to bind. Take that top arm back up. Straighten your front leg. Press that front hip crease back. Come into triangle. Option to take your arms by your ears, fire up the core. Back to triangle arms. Breathe in. Half moon. Inhale. Exhale. Good. 2 more. Breathe out. 1 more breath. Feet together. Sweep up. Right arm under, right leg over. So if you need to, get that heart rate slowed down, just kickstand with that top big toe. You can also just grab your shoulders. Everyone breathe in. Empty out. Sweep up, right leg up. Airplane pose. Nice high chest here. Breathe out. Fingertips back and up. Empty. So nice counter pose here from all that constriction. Full breath. Feet together. Getting that serotonin pose. Breathe in. Clear it out. Sweep up. Left arm under, left leg over. Come into that constriction and then relax in that constriction. Because there is times that we need to pull it in and protect. But relax in that. And know that this is a minuscule part of really what's required to navigate this life. Okay, take another breath here. Now sink it nice and low. Sweep up, top leg goes up. Airplane, now open it up. This is where we want to spend the majority of our life. Wide open. When we're wide open, things can move through us. When we're constricted, we're just like clutch, 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 cling, cling, cling. Ugh. Everything gets so hard. Good, feel it nice and big, open through your chest, your hips. Fingertips up and back, heel up and back, heart up. And feet together. Serotonin pose. Okay, sweep up. And let's go dancer pose, right arm back. Build 1 breath at a time. Up against a wall can be so helpful too, just planting your palm right on a wall. Or an imaginary wall. Switch sides. So whenever I say switch sides without calling the breath, move on your breath when it feels good. That might mean that you stay for another half breath before you move. Another big inhale here. Other side. Let's take it another round. Okay, you guys are gonna give yourselves 5 breaths and you'll switch on your own. Same thing on this side, 5 breaths. And we'll meet back in that confidence building mountain pose. Step your feet wide. Sit back into that founder's pose, arms by your ears. Take a deep breath in. Come to that flat back. Deep breath in. Hands to the mat, legs stay the same. Come back up, halfway lift. Breathe out. Lift the body 45. Breathe out. Stand all the way up, press those big toes down, and come into yogi squat. Just focus your eyes on one spot. Now land your hands on the mat in between your feet. And step the left leg back for lizard pose. Option to come down onto the back knee or stay off it. And I want you to notice the silence between the breath. And if there's any noises around you, including my voice, notice the silence in between each word. At the end of every noise is silence. Everything begins and ends in the stillness of silence. Option to take a bind with your back leg. And if you're in the bind, release the bind. And you guys are just going to heel toe that right foot all the way over and come into half pigeon. And if you want more yin of a pose here, bring the back leg up to 90 degrees as well and fold over. Now walk your upper body up and come into downward facing dog. Step your left leg forward, come into lizard. Option to bind your back leg. And release the bind. And come into half pigeon, either version. Left leg forward. And keep your awareness really in the space between the breath, in that stillness of silence, right before the inhale begins, after it ends, right before the exhale, and of course at the bottom of the breath. Now walk your upper body up. And we're just gonna pivot open, straighten both legs, come into a wide-legged fold. And so at first I want you to focus on a tall spine. So this might be plenty for you with your feet flexed. If you can keep that tall spine, so like leading from your chest, right? Leading from your heart, what a concept. You can start to walk the hands out. Keep your feet active, flexed. And then you might just stay here, or we can start to round a little bit. If it feels okay, come down to your forearms, and you can drop your head. Keep your feet flexed. Just for these few breaths right here. And then you can relax the feet for these last couple of breaths. And then walk your upper body up. And I'm just going to turn towards you, but you're going to fold that right foot in. Get yourself nice and tall again. Reach up. And you're going to drop the left arm down. Maybe you can grab the toes, right arm up and over. Another thing is drop the forearm right on the inside of that left leg. And then I do like a little bit of a press. Pressing the leg into the arm allows me to stay lifted and open. And breathe into those right ribs. And then rise up. Both arms are going to go up. and you're going to shift towards that left leg and fold. You can bend your knee if you need to. And take a big breath, feel it in the back. And then surrender on that exhale. Take another cycle on your own. And then walk your body up and switch sides. So arms go up on an inhale. Take it up and over, reach towards that right leg. Breathe big into the left ribs. And come on up. Pivot and fold. Two more cycles of breath. And then rise up. Get both legs out in front of you. Bend your knees. You're going to roll down. So use your core. And then once you get down, we're going to lift the hips for bridge. Just for 5 breaths, using this to get the front of the hips open. Four more breaths. Last inhale. And drop your hips down. Hug your knees in. And drop them to the right, reach to the left, take a twist. Maybe just close your eyes here, you guys. And keep resting in the silence. Change sides. Shavasana. Roll to your side. Come to a seat with your eyes closed. So yoga is not about making anything outside of you yet. Nothing outside of you needs to change in order for you to feel peaceful, confident, content, healthy. Yoga is about going in, so turning our eyes inward as opposed to outward all the time, and realizing that the confidence and the health, the silence and the quiet, it's already there. So nothing needs to be attained. It's just turning into the quiet that's already within you, to the peace that's already within you, to the understanding and the kindness and the compassion and the power and the strength that's already within you. That's why we say it will never be found outside of you. It can't be, because it lives in you right now. Put one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Together, breathe in. Breathe out. Namaste.